Hello again, beautiful members. Welcome back to the desert. I'm gonna pre-apologize already for the wind. It's quite a calm day, but sometimes the wind does pick up and you can hear it. So I already say sorry for that. And also I'm chewing gum, which is definitely unusual for me, but it's so dry. It's so dry in the desert. So today, I want to talk about the quantum world with all of you. Obviously, you guys are members for a reason. And part of the reason why you're members is because you're ready to dive deeper. You're ready for the next step. And part of the next step is the quantum step. And understanding what's really going on in the quantum world. Now, I would love to know, in the comments below, how you guys have been experiencing this reality recently. And I'm pretty removed. I'm pretty removed from the reality of what's going on out there in the world. But at the same time, I have to be removed in order to understand the bigger picture. And when we raise our vibration and we enter into this new frequency, our perception of this reality changes because we're no longer trapped in this third dimension frequency. We're no longer trapped within this density. So things get weird, like really weird. So I want to ask all of you, have you noticed? Have you noticed how weird things have been? And I'll give you a couple of examples of this. When we raise our vibration, we move from the third dimension density into the fourth dimension density, and then obviously eventually into the fifth. And so pretty much all dimensions in this universe have some sort of physical density to it. Now, just recently, I had validated that I think above the 8th or above the 9th? Yeah. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that above the 9th dimension frequency, pretty much all beings exist in an astral plane. And also all beings are in astral bodies. So beings who are kind of, I don't know if it's 9th or 10th, anyway, the upper ones, maybe it's 10th. Yeah, maybe it's 10th dimension. Anyway, doesn't matter. I think 10, 11, 12 dimensions are, very astral, very non-physical. But up until then, say for example, up until the 10th dimension, both space and time have to exist in some capacity, right? Time is almost like the movement flowing us forward. And then space is the thing that takes up moving from one time to another, right? It's like kind of what time is moving through. Time is moving through space. Anyway, I'm not an expert. I'm definitely not a physicist on this, but I want to talk about this. So I'll give you two examples of recent things that have happened to me. Now, the thing that I want to just kind of make you all aware of is most likely you have been experiencing a weird quantum reality without even being aware of it. Most likely you've been experiencing glitches without even knowing, right? And I'm just going to actually show you. This right here, guys, is a Joshua tree. That's what this place is named after, Joshua tree. So, I'm Canadian, right? But I don't know how I ended up hearing as a Canadian about this little tiny town in the middle of the desert called Joshua Tree. But I knew that Joshua Tree was a very spiritual place, even as a Canadian. And I always thought, honestly, it's so funny, most of you might think this too, that aren't American. I always thought that Joshua Tree was literally a very sacred tree that people visit in a spiritual way. Turns out, I'm just going to protect you from the wind here. Turns out it's actually a place. and it's a national park. Anyway, little history on where I am. So beautiful though. Just walking down a dirt road, infinitely. Sorry about the wind. I know it sounds so much louder than it is out here. Okay, so two examples that I want to give about this weird quantum space that we're entering into that have happened really recently. So, what was it? This happened yesterday. Oh man, see, time's getting weird. Okay, so my wife goes into LA and she had to go meet up with a business partner and exchange product or something like that. I don't know. She does a lot of things. And so she goes into LA, and then she has this kind of experience of like, oh my goodness, it's so crazy in LA. I'm so happy we're in the desert, which is amazing to hear because she's been really saying often, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. And I'm like, we're home here. No matter where we are, we're home. Like, I don't know what you're missing in LA other than lineups and people in masks, that you're not getting here, right? Anyway, so I'm glad she had that experience. But and we had a good conversation about it, but it was yesterday night when she told me, and she's like, yeah, like I'm really glad I went to LA today to see what I didn't want to be in. And I'm like, wait, what? That was this morning? And it baffled me. Like, it literally blew my mind. I'm like, what? That just happened? I swear. Like, oh my goodness, it's so crazy. I would have paid you $100 in full confidence to say that she went to LA on that trip 3 days ago. Hands down. Now, sometimes I get these weird, like, weird glitches in time moments, right? But maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it's half an hour. But I swear it was 3 days ago. And so to feel like something happened 3 days ago, very specifically, sorry about the wind again, and then to be in the present moment and be like, no, that happened like 3 hours ago, is, it's really baffling. It's really surprising. So that just happened. That just happened yesterday, literally, which is kind of weird, and maybe you just think I'm crazy and whatever. Hopefully you don't think I'm crazy because you're here. But something else has been happening, and this is more of a space glitch, right? Because we have both time and space glitches, and maybe we can all UFO hunt while we're here together. Let me know if you see anything. Actually, speaking of UFOs, my dad, who lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is really not too far away from here, saw 6 UFOs last night, which is so good because I think he needs that, I feel like he really just needs that push. And I think a lot of our loved ones at this time really need that push, right? So anyway, I know I'm rambling, but hopefully you're enjoying it. Okay, so something really weird has been happening, and this was happening before we even moved to Joshua Tree. And it was a weird glitch in space. And every once in a while it still happens, but not as intensely as it was. So this was happening for at least 3, if not 4 weeks straight. And basically what it was I was just around our condo in Los Angeles. And as I was, cooking dinner or doing the dishes or cleaning or at my desk or whatever, I would always see our dog, Abby, like waddling around because she's like a little wiener dog. So I would always see her waddling around. And then I would go to look to see where she was, and she wasn't there, right? And so when I finally tapped into this, it took me about 2 weeks to really ask what the heck is going on, because it feels like I was seeing a ghost dog walking around. And basically my spirit guide said that I was seeing her in a quantum superposition because I got to a place where I was an objective observer, which means that I was just observing my reality objectively, which means that I was in a state of wave, of flux, of non-duality, right? Of even non-atomic substance in a way, where I could actually tap into the quantum wave state of other people and other things. Living things, inanimate objects. I've seen things move in a wave. And then, you know, it's not necessarily that the dog is duplicating itself around me. It's that I'm just tapping in to the infinite number of parallel realities of where that dog could be in space. And then when I really look at where the dog is, she's in her bed, or she is by the door, or she's by my feet, you know, and I just saw her over there, right? So that's kind of where we see the glitches in space and the glitches in time. So I want to ask all of you, you know, have you experienced these sorts of things? And if so, you know, what does that look like for you? And for whatever reason, I can't flip my camera. I don't know if I'm just like technologically challenged or what, but I want to show you this. It's probably not going to fully, hopefully you see that. Look at this anthill. Like, how freaking impressive is that? Hopefully you can see, because I don't even know. But I mean, how many ants did it take over how long to build that huge mound? You know, sometimes I wonder about hive mentality. And I know that there's some really highly advanced species out there in the universe that have a hive mind. I think that's what it's called. I haven't really had much interaction with these beings, like these hive mind beings. I don't know, but it brings up so much for me. And I know we're totally getting onto a different topic, but I think it's important. What would you think about a hive mind? What would you think about you? I don't know. What is it? Are you in control, or are you just acting as the hive mind? Like, is it just one consciousness and many different little fractals of your consciousness? Or are the little ants aware that they're working in a hive mind, right? Like, this is really, I feel like I don't have much expertise in this or much knowledge at all in this. For me, on one hand, I would hate to be like unconscious and then just be acting and reacting based on the hive mind. That's like a prison for me, but I don't know how it works. But on the other hand, if I was the mind in the hive mind situation and I just had 10,000 aspects of me, holy shit, could we ever get some stuff done, right? I mean, I think that would be incredible. To be the mind of the hive mind. Like, think about yourself right now having hundreds of aspects of yourself, but then when you really think about it, oh, the wind, sorry about that. When you really think about it, aren't we already acting as a hive mind? Yes, maybe on planet Earth, but more so, sorry about that. The wind's picking up now. It's crazy. It gets so windy here in the desert. Okay, so, but more so, you know, in consciousness in general, don't we act as a one mind? Like, what about the concept of an oversoul, right? Isn't that one soul incarnated into many different species? Isn't that how that works? Aren't we already technically a hive mind in a way? I think it's something cool to think about, and I'd love to get all of your thoughts on what you think about a hive mind, if you've been experiencing glitches in the matrix, space and time. It's important that you realize that these glitches in the matrix can come through in a variety of different ways. And the number one thing that I always say when I experience one is, that was weird. No, that was really weird. You know, even if you can't really pinpoint what exactly just happened, you know deep in your soul that it wasn't right, that it wasn't the typical linear system that you're used to. So yeah, so I want to know about your glitch experiences, especially recently, within the past year, because as we raise our vibration, we start to ascend away from 3D and we start to really fully move into 5D. And space and time are weird there. It's not that they don't exist, it's that they exist in a more lucid capacity. Let's just call it that. Yeah, so I'm interested. And then I'm also interested to get your take on Hive Mind. Like, I'm sure most of you know way more about this concept than I do, but in some ways I would hate to be out of control, but then in other ways, would that be maybe the ultimate form of control? What are your thoughts? I just want to say thank you for taking this beautiful walk with me in the desert, and I hope you enjoyed the scenery and the chats. You know, this is really nice. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, for being a member, for committing yourself to awakening every single day, even just by consuming conscious and high vibrational content. So thank you. Give yourself some love today. Happy Thursday. I will see you all next week in another chat video. I don't know what to call these, chat videos. Every Thursday for my members. Bye guys. Also, one more thing, Q&A. I'm taking Q&A this week, so make sure you get in your questions. I'm gonna have to sift through them and choose probably like 20 of them to take. A lot of you ask me 2 to 5 questions each, so if you just limit your questions to 1 each, that way I can get to more of you, and it's less time for me to sift through everything. So keep that in mind. Love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.